Hello, this is Dr. Paulette Jones Olasoji, Cooking with Apostle 0360. I was just getting ready to come up with a meal plan for today. I couldn't think of anything that really was interesting that I wanted, and then I thought about it, a steak. Looked in the freezer, I didn't have one, so the closest thing I could come to a steak was a hamburger patty. Is that all right? So this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to do string beans, rice. We're going to make some hamburger patties, ground beef, and I think that's about it. String beans, rice, and some gravy. How about some brown gravy, okay? So I've got some oil here in this pot, and I'm going to put some flour in it as a thickening agent to make the gravy. And I'm hoping this won't take very long. And I may ask you to come back tomorrow with me because I'm having a guest tomorrow coming for dinner. Dr. Donald Golden. I'm so proud of that young man. He just graduated with his doctor's degree. So he's coming to a service in Savannah tomorrow. And he called and wanted to know if he could just stop by for a while. So I asked him, did he want me to cook a meal? And he said anything except scallops and mussels. So I didn't have a problem with that because I didn't have scallops or mussels in my refrigerator. And I usually try to stick with what's in the house. So only thing I couldn't find was anything to make him a salad. It's amazing that the stores are running out of stuff, isn't it? We're going to put some celery and onions in this gravy. A little bit of seasoning. And this is just salt, pepper. And we're going to put some water in it. Just a little bit of browning agent. My camera, one of the little pieces popped off that holds the camera in place. I'm trying not to bother it too much today. But if you can't see me, I'll try to move this around just a little bit because I don't want you to miss anything. So I think you've seen enough of me. So let's see if we can get it down with the food without turning the camera over. Let's see if that gets it, okay? All right, so this is going to be our gravy. We're going to cover this up and put it on the other side because I want to mix this ground beef up. And I'm going to move the frying pan over because you know I like to cook in a candy skillet. So let's just move this over. And let the gravy begin to cook. We're going to mix up the ground beef. So this is about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. And this is just some seasoning, salt, pepper, cayenne. Gonna put that in there. And I like crunchy vegetables, so you know I'm gonna put a lot of onions in there. Most people probably would not like that. And we need something to bind it together, which would be an egg. Because it is a larger portion of ground beef, I'm gonna put 2 in there so that we won't have an issue. And let me just reach over and get a fork for a minute. And I'm going to put the oil on in the pan while I mix this up. And you would essentially do this the same way you were if you were making burgers, but I know a lot of you probably wouldn't put this much onions in it, but I love onions. And probably just a little bit of flour just to make sure that we hold it together because this is 98%, so you know we don't have much oil in this. A little bit of flour to hold it together. When we make the patty, and usually as another binder to keep it from being so bready, I will put a little bit of water in it to make it moist. So I'm going to add just a little bit of water from the sink. And mix that, put some moisture in it. And I had already put the rice on because I didn't want to take up so much time. And I use minute rice, so the rice is already cooked. And I did some string beans, and the string beans is already cooking. Remember, I don't like meat in my string beans, most of my vegetables, so I like the natural flavor of the vegetables. And then you can make your patties as small or as large as you want them. And this is for my house again, because I know y'all like to wear gloves, but most of you, if to be honest, you know when you're cooking at home, you don't wear gloves. Unless you're cooking for somebody else, and I'm not. Okay, and that's about a good size right there. It's not going on a bun. It's going to go on the side of the rice and the gravy and string beans. I'm going to probably put one inside the gravy just to make sure that it gets a flavor to it. So we're going to put this in the oil. The pan was already hot, so it's already sizzling. And then that's cooking, okay? So we're just gonna let it kind of cook through. It's a little bit thick, but remember we're gonna put some of them in the gravy. And let me rinse my hand off a little bit. Clean up a little bit. I don't have a sous chef today. So you know when I don't have my sous chef, I have to be about doing this stuff myself. And so today I am doing it myself. Not that the sous chef didn't call, but because I didn't know what I really wanted to cook today. I got to start pre-planning these menus for you. And then you flip it over. Now nice and brown. Try not to splash it. So I don't have a steak, but this is my closest thing to a steak. And we're going to let it cook on this side. The other day I made some biscuits. I ran out of flour. Didn't realize I didn't have enough flour, so I had some tapioca flour. And I bought the tapioca flour for something, but I couldn't remember what I was going to make with it, so it was just sitting in the cabinet. And I put the tapioca flour in it, and that was the lightest, fluffiest biscuit. I told my sister, I have to do this for you one day, because they're convinced that I don't know how to make biscuits. You ever thought about doing your hamburger meat like this? Doesn't always have to go on a bun now. This could actually be your meal. Let me check the gravy over here before I forget. It's already thickening up. Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. As soon as they get a little crust on that side, what I want to do with the first ones is I want to put them in the gravy so that the gravy will take on the flavor of the beef. The gravy is already thick, so it's not going to really take that long. And then I'm going to put the others in the pan, and then I'll kind of serve it up on the platter so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to start trying to get this next one ready for the pan. And these should be my last batches. Don't have to deal with cheese today, my daughter. She's always complaining that I like one kind of pepper and one kind of cheese. Y'all know I love me some cheddar. So we don't deal with cheese today. And I started to come up with a fancy recipe using this ground beef. And I said, girl, you already know if you do that, you're not going to eat that stuff. So I talked myself down and I didn't do it again. Okay, I'm going to take this out. And again, remember now I have a pot of gravy over here that I'm cooking. And I want to put this in the gravy just so that the gravy will take on a flavor. What I did was the gravy, spatula touched the gravy and it made a nice splash, and that's why the oil is splashing. And then I'm going to put these last ones in, and I'll show you what it looks like. Sounds like I hear some thunder. We might be getting a little rain. It was such a wonderful day today, though. It was a nice day to go on the beach. So if you didn't know what to do with yourself, we had wonderful weather. I had the door open all day, catching some fresh air. Spent my day working on some estate planning things for my daughter, who is determined that I'm going to have it together. In spite of the fact that I've already given her the will and list of everything and where it is, she wants me to put it in an estate planning book. That's what she had me doing today. So for those of you who have not planned your estate, and I know a lot of times we don't like to do that because we feel like if we do it, that means that somebody's going to die. But whether you believe it or not, you need a will. So if you have not started working on your estate, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Write your will. It doesn't do any good to write the will and nobody knows where it is. So you need to make sure that your loved one knows where everything is. They know how to get it, need to know how to get in your computer. They need to know your passwords. So you don't have to give it to them now. Or whoever you're going to trust to handle your estate, you need to make sure that they can get into it when at your demise. So make sure that you get someone to help you pull all of that together now so that it won't be a problem later. Is that okay? All right. So all of this is about done. And we don't have to take all of this one out, but I just wanted you to see how I was doing it. And I want to kind of show you on the platter exactly what we're doing today. So let me get another spoon and put it in the dish, and then I will show you the dish. Remember now, I just put some of them in some gravy. I think we had some string beans. And we had some rice. So let me get some string beans. Without any meat in it. This is our string beans, okay? And I'll put the camera down in a minute. And I want to get some of the rice. This is the rice. Let me turn this meat before it burns on this side and we have our alarm going on. You certainly don't want to do that. And for those of you who like your beef rare, you know, you don't have to cook it long. Just cook it as much as you think you would desire it. And then I'm going to get the platter. And on this particular platter, we're going to put the ones that we put in the gravy, so you'll know that you're having something good on the side. And the gravy has gotten so thick. And there's always going to be somebody who say, I don't want my meat in the gravy. You know, a lot of kids don't like what they call it, wet meat. And then on the other side of the platter, we're going to put the ones that are not wet, as the kids call it. And this is the dinner for today. I want you to look at it. I don't want the camera to fall, but I want you to get a good look at what we've got on the counter. Okay, so you've got your platter that has the meat that's in the gravy and the one that's not in the gravy. We have a platter of string beans, and we have some rice. And you can drink anything that you want to drink with it, but I think today I will have some kombucha tea. Thanks to Mr. Ivy, he's got me drinking kombucha tea. All right, so that's our dinner for today. I hope you had a good day and it didn't take long to make this. I pray you have a wonderful day with the Lord. Join us on tomorrow. I think we'll make some seafood for Dr. Donald Golden, all right? Thank God for you. May God bless you and keep you is my prayer. This is Dr. Paula Jones Olasoji wishing you a happy day in the Lord.